This is the Nerdy Things Podcast. This podcast contains strong language, adult themes, and poorly developed ideas. We apologize for nothing. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of the Nerdy Things Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kevin. I am joined, as always, by Jules. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And by Tim. What's going on, Tim?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh my God, Tim. You sound so good.
Like an angel.
Do I sound like an angel?
Except for your voice cracking there.
Yeah, I know, that was a problem. Guys, I got a new mic!
Yay. Awesome.
We're happy for you.
It's so exciting. It's the same one as Kevin, so if you can't distinguish our voices, it's because of technology.
Actually, I think it's because you're an idiot, because we sound different.
Yeah, probably true, too.
And I'm the Heyo guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah. That's how we describe Jules to anybody that asks, who's Jules? He's the Heyo guy.
Yeah, that's my thing. And
Heyo.
guys, I just thought about it right now, and we didn't even talk about it. Did y'all see the eclipse? Or did y'all care
there was an
at
eclipse?
all? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, man.
Nerdy news.
Of course.
I took a picture of it.
Yeah? You put it on
I
our
put it
Instagram,
on
right?
You liked it.
Oh, okay.
I made two camera obscuras so that my wife and I could watch it. That was a waste of time.
Did y'all get like the full eclipse over there? No.
We got 60%, and it looked like, I don't know, looked like a tiny little letter C when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was full on bright outside. Like, there was people in the parking lot at work, because I was at work, and it was full on bright outside, and we saw like a sliver of the sun covered, and that was like pretty much it. But there was people out there with their 3D glasses, like trying to see it.
Going all crazy. Oh my God, the eclipse. Yeah. That was pretty much here too.
The thing that was driving me nuts was, I mean, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a phenomenon. So, you know, it's neat. And you watch it and you're like, wow. You put the glasses on and you can actually see the sun being covered. And you're like, that's kind of cool. Like, pretty neat looking. Worth photographing, worth looking at for a couple of seconds. And then you watch the news and there's all these people camped out at some of the places where it was like the best. And this woman's it's so beautiful. I wish it could stay like this forever, she says. Why? What benefit is this to your life other than the fact that, like, it looks kind of cool? It's a novelty for a minute. But I wish it could stay like this forever. That is one of the stupidest comments I ever heard a human being utter in my life.
Yeah, I was at Target the other day, and one of the cashiers was telling one of the other cashiers that her son drove to Utah to be able to see it. And she's like, it just seems like he drove really far. He could have, driven down to my sister's house down south, and it would have taken him much less time. And I actually looked it up, and it's like 52 hours or something crazy.
God.
Straight driving from Massachusetts out there. And it would have taken him like 16 to get down to his aunt's house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I inserted myself into her conversation.
Man.
We're going to get,
people go crazy.
in what is it, 2024? Here on the East Coast, we're going to get totality, I believe. So that's
it's going to be Maine. I think it's Maine to Texas. So I think it's going to be us and Jules.
Heyo.
Sweet.
Yeah.
2024. That's, you know what? The eclipse it's the coming of the apocalypse. That's when the nerdy boys will rise.
All the nerds will rise up and all that. So we have a action-packed episode. So I want to get going and get into it because we have a lot of news that happened this week, and it's pretty cool. And we're going to talk about all the fall TV shows that you need to watch, or some of them you need to not watch, and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you're new here, that's what we do. We talk about the nerdy news, and then we have a main topic at the end. And if you haven't noticed already, it's going to be fall TV shows, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So I want to get into it and talk about our sponsor, NerdPins. Nerdpins.net or Nerdpins on Instagram.
Nerdpins.net is a sponsor of the Nerdy Things Podcast.
Cool. Nerd Pins is the brainchild of Joe Van Dyke, a Florida man living in downtown Los Angeles. Joe has an extensive background in arts and music, having spent all of his 20s playing and touring in punk and hardcore bands and organizing large group art shows around Florida. Nerd Pins is not limited to one specific style, but an umbrella that allows Joe to make and pursue anything he feels like creating. All of the pins and products are designed by him, some paying homage to music, movies, arts that he is a fanboy of, others being original ideas and images of his own. Nothing is off limits to Nerd Pins, whether it be thought-provoking and provocative or simple and amusing. Thank you so much to Nerd Pins. They sent us some pins. Go check it out. You can see some of the pins we got on nerdythingspod.com. And you can check out all of Nerdpins stuff, nerdpins.net. He has a ton of cool pins, Stranger Things pins, Game of Thrones pins, and I think he said it was like a year. His first year was a couple days ago. So if you order anything from nerdpins.net right now, he'll throw in an extra pin. You just got to let him know which one it is. So a free pin, these pins are like pretty expensive. So you can get a free pin and they're pretty good. They're really great quality and they're pretty awesome.
Hey, Jules, do we have any iTunes reviews this week?
Hey, Kevin, we sure do. This one's by Thursday Ketchup, and we've been talking to him on Twitter a little bit. He says, good show. Listened to the episode about video game franchises and enjoyed it. Just about every franchise I could think of was talked about, and with a level of expertise beyond general knowledge. A good show to listen to with people who actually know what they are talking about. Thank you, Thursday Ketchup, and if you want to leave us an iTunes review, you can do that, and we'll read it on the show. We'll read whatever. Leave us a 4 or 5 star, whatever you want. Whatever you think we deserve, however many stars we deserve, just put that in there.
We fooled that guy.
Yeah.
Congrats on listening, bro.
So I actually went on
guys.
my wife's computer and I left iTunes reviews for a couple of other people. I was going to leave a review for us and be like 5 stars. I love this podcast because it's me, but I didn't know if that was cool or not.
I almost did the same thing. That's really funny.
I think that's really cool.
I may do
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that too. And I'll read my own.
Hey, guys, so the other thing is, the merch sale is over. Sad face. But it'll come back. I hope everybody bought shirts, because I did. I bought 4
I did
shirts.
Too. Yeah, I think I bought
That's
4
awesome.
as well.
Jules, 4 shirts.
So yeah, you'll see us rocking all the Nerdy Things Pod new shirts and stuff. We'll definitely show you pictures of what they look like, and we'll let you know how they feel. But Kevin already has a few of them, and the rest of the Nerdy Boys got some. So if you want to get on that train, go to nerdythingspod.com, go down to merch. You can get some merch. We have a bunch of designs, a lot of designs there. Don't be afraid to go check it out. Don't be afraid to support podcasts, because we love you, and y'all are awesome. So just go to that, nerdythingspod.com, go down to merch. If you want to be a patron, go to Patreon, the little tab right there, and that's how you do that, and you'll get some extra content. So there's a ton of stuff on nerdythingspod.com. Just go visit, go tell a friend to visit, go post the link somewhere, whatever you want. Go do all that stuff.
Guys, forget
Spread
the
the love.
eclipse. Forget 2024. We're taking over the world now. We're everywhere. Get on board, people. Hop on the train. Woo woo.
Woo. The Nerdy Things Pod train. Now, let's do it.
Is it time for nerdy news?
I think so.
Yes, Kev.
All right, nerdy news.
Nerdy news.
At 6 o'clock. So, I know we've been harping on streaming services recently. God damn it, Apple is getting into the ring by investing $1 billion on original movies and other content.
Yeah. I mean, they started already with their show. What is it called? Planet of the Apps with Will.i.am, Gary Vaynerchuk. I like all those guys, but like, it's just not something I'm interested in. And I watched the first episode because it was free, and I was like, okay, this is like a Shark Tank style thing, but for apps. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm okay. I don't need it. But now that they're investing so much money into their original stuff,
yeah, I mean,
I
that's
hope
the
it's
amount
not.
Amazon spent in 2013, their first year in the original content game. So, I mean, it's a big investment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small change to Apple, but it's a big investment.
I don't know. Do you think they know what they're doing? Do you have
No.
confidence? No.
No, I can tell you right now, no.
Well, listen, I don't know if they know what they're doing now, but people forget Steve Jobs was one of the founding fathers of Pixar.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that
Absolutely.
made Pixar
Sure.
happen. And Pixar has been one of the greatest movie film factories of the last 30 years. So
you're 100% right. And with Steve Jobs at the helm, I think I'm going to reverse my opinion. Now that I realized Steve Jobs is going to be in charge of this, I have high confidence that Apple is doing the right thing.
But don't you think, yes, funny, but don't you think that some of the same people who worked with Steve Jobs developing Pixar into what it is, don't you think some of them are still involved at Apple?
Nope.
You don't?
None of the apps kind of...
You think people just jump ship from Apple?
Well, I mean, honestly, they may still be there, but how much power do these people have, judging by how directionless Apple does seem to be with a lot of this stuff? It's the same, like they keep putting out the same phones, they keep rehashing the same features, and just no innovation. There hasn't been innovation in years from Apple. Last big move they made was Apple TV.
That was pretty good, though.
Sure.
Apple TV was pretty
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah,
but that was how many years ago?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they're still a very good company, and
no doubt.
Their products still continue to get better and better. And we're just waiting for the next revolutionary thing from Apple. So maybe, I mean, obviously this isn't going to be revolutionary, but they still do what they do really well. And we're talking about them making TV shows, making movies. So it's not like they're coming out to revolutionize the film industry, but that doesn't mean they can't produce good content.
No, but I mean, Apple used to think moves ahead, and now they seem to be playing catch up to me. I mean, I'm obviously an Android fanboy, and I am definitely biasing myself with this. However, I don't see any evidence to the contrary.
So you think that they jumped into the game too late, that they should have been doing the movie and TV original stuff a long time ago, because now it's just playing catch up to what Netflix, Hulu, HBO, all them are doing?
Yeah, I think that if they were going to, they should have done it earlier. And I think if they're going to do it now, they should do something different. They should come up with some twist that they have thought of that other people haven't.
Okay.
Give me 15-minute TV shows. Make it so that they're more improv. Like podcast it. Make it so that it is an Apple product that is consumed differently, and not just that they're getting into streaming like everyone else. Because there's way too many streaming services.
Yeah.
Well, this could be the part of something bigger, different too, because Apple. It's been years and years that Apple's been rumored to trying to do something in the TV industry, something beyond Apple TV that's going to make it easier to cut the cord, so on and so forth. And we're getting closer to seeing that as a possibility. So this could be part of a bigger move. We don't know. I mean, all we know is they're investing $1 billion, and that's similar to what Amazon did, I think was what the article said. And Amazon won an Oscar for a movie. So
sure. But you know what? What they should do, and what would be different, they should actually take other streaming services and put them under the Apple umbrella. Because I do think that the future is a cable-like cord cut scenario where you subscribe to Apple and you get access to, for example, Netflix and Hulu and Crackle and blah, blah, blah for one low fee of $20 a month.
Well, they may be working to that. It's very possible.
Let's see.
Yeah,
that'd
probably
be, not cool, but that'd be, I think, where we're heading. And if someone's going to do it, it should be Apple, Google, or Amazon.
Kevin, everything we talk about is cool, so it would definitely be cool.
True. Not that I think that they'd actually get Netflix on board, because Netflix is powering through. We got a confirmation that Stranger Things Season 3 and possibly Season 4 are definitely happening.
I haven't even seen Stranger Things Season 2, and I'm already ridiculously excited about this.
Right? I know.
I thought you were going to say I haven't seen Stranger Things Season 1, and I was about to get really mad.
There's a 99 out of 100 chance that Season 2 is awesome. That's how confident I am in Netflix and what they do with TV shows and movies and such. 99 out of 100.
I have zero problem saying that. I think the Duffer Brothers knocked it out of the park with Season 1. I think the acting was spectacular. I think the story was great. The writing, everything about it was just different, new, but had that nostalgia. It captured the 80s. Such wonderful stuff.
Yeah, and for me, in my sort of circle, it was, or from the media that I consume, it was really under the radar, and I just found it on Netflix. It was like, hey, just released new releases, Stranger Things. I was like, that sounds pretty interesting. And then I watched the whole thing. I was like, holy crap, this is really good. And then more people started talking about it. Word of mouth got around. And I think that's primarily how it came about for a little while, where it's just everybody was just talking about it because it was so good, and then they got a lot of money and they put a lot of money into promoting it and stuff, and it was super awesome. So yeah, definitely season 3 is gonna be awesome.
That's funny because that shows the generational gap right there. Because when it first came out, like within the first week, almost everybody I knew was talking about it.
Yeah,
but it's
me
because
too.
that's our childhood generation. So I think it was just a much more natural topic of conversation. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
sure.
did you see this thing from the 80s? But like within a week, everybody I knew was going bananas over that show.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Netflix does fail with their advertising in some ways because, I mean, they push certain things. I definitely knew the Defenders were coming because we've seen a million trailers for it,
ton of
and
stuff.
that's in my wheelhouse. But like the movie Little Evil that's coming up from them, and I think that's actually end of this month. I have had nothing for it, and the trailer was just released the other day, and that trailer looks amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
Right next to The Kingsman, that goes up there as one of my most anticipated movies of the next 2 months, and I knew nothing about it, and it's not even coming out in theaters. So
No.
that
Wow.
says something about that trailer right there.
Did either of you see the movie Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No.
Tucker and Dale. No.
It is. You are failing at life then. That is, honest to God, one of the funniest horror movies, intentionally, ever made. And I loved it. It was another like independent sleeper, like no one really knew what to expect from it. This was one of the first movies I bought and streamed over the internet because it was just that good. I could tell from the trailers. My only complaint from it was that all of the trailers showed all of the funny bits.
Oh, okay.
But if you guys haven't, and you have no idea what this is about, you need to see it. Go and find Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Watch that. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
I will, upon your recommendation, Kevin, check it out.
Yeah. It was really, really funny.
But Little
if you
Evil,
guys-
I mean, the cast on this,
Yeah.
super fantastic. Adam Scott playing the lead,
Yep.
Evangeline Lilly, love her.
Yeah.
Tyler Labine, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He played the voice of Chunk in the Voltron cartoon that we liked.
Oh,
he was
really?
in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but he was in a show called The Reaper, which only lasted 2 seasons, which
I
I just
remember
thought
that
was
show.
awesome. Kevin Smith kind of directed the pilot, but that show, he was so funny in that show. But you got Chris D'Elia, however you say his name. Donald Faison is awesome.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's directed by
Castelia.
the same guy who does Zombieland. Zombieland is one of the
Fantastic.
best zombie movies ever.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. No, that's exactly right. I'm looking forward to this so much. I just love Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I mean,
good.
We should do a
we're going to
episode
talk a
on
little
it.
bit more about him when we get into the main topic today, but that'll be nice.
One of the things
you
that
know,
Netflix does, you talked about the marketing, is I think that it kind of helps build the mystique that they never make bad TV shows or movies because they don't always promote them until they've come out and
Yeah.
people love them.
They see.
Like once
Yeah.
people love them, then they get like full bore behind them, but sometimes you don't even know it's coming. So they want to make sure that there's like a warm reception, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we made this thing, and it's awesome."
and the
they're,
other
like,
side of
all
that is
over
that
it.
they downplay the stuff that doesn't take off.
Exactly, like Marco
You know,
Polo,
or
or
they
whatever
yeah
it
they
was,
don't
you
they
know?
don't put it
Yeah.
on your front page of Netflix if it doesn't
No.
if it's not
Yeah,
good.
I mean, because they don't release any sort of viewership numbers. They keep it under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, even though Friends from College was not really critically acclaimed and fans kind of liked it, they did renew that for season 2.
I didn't get that, so I watched that show because it came across
Yeah.
my radar and I liked the cast, and we talked about it. I loved it. I
Yeah.
thought it was absolutely fantastic. And then I was listening to another podcast that I listen to frequently, and they were like, "We really liked Friends with College, but Twitter hated it, and the critics really were pretty lukewarm on it." I'm like, "What?" Like, I just assumed everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I think it was funny. I think it was raw. I think it didn't do, you know what? I think a lot of it is that people get upset about the way that, like, the writing aspect of this is portrayed. Because there are a lot of writers on Twitter, and the writing part of this is just so wrong. But the rest of this was just, it was people, and it was
So which
awkward
part of it
people.
wasn't good? Was it the creative process or like the business stuff?
The business part of it. So like the fact that, you know, Keegan-Michael Key's agent was trying to come up with the cover for the book and trying to get it all like that doesn't happen until you've sold the book. You write the book, you edit the book, you find an editor, the editor then pitches it to the publishing company, and then they come up with they offer you money, and then the publishing company comes up with the cover and the pitches and all of this other stuff for it.
But I think the difference is this guy's an established like star. You know, he's an acclaimed writer. So I think the process is a little bit different when it's just your next book.
Nah, especially when you're changing genres, it's definitely not. This is not how it works. Even when you are an established star, you still have to have an editor on board, and it's not your agent, and you're dealing with other people. Everything you do goes through your agent to the editor, and it's not this creative streamlined process where your editor helps you with the story and then does all this stuff with the cover and the dust jacket and the marketing and nope.
But he works directly for the publisher, Fred Savage.
Then no, that's not how it works at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes and 44% on Metacritic. So
that's bananas.
That's
to me.
weird.
Like, that show was so good.
Yeah, no, I don't understand it, but hey, it's not my deal. I'm looking forward to The Punisher, which we got a teaser for that at the end of the Defenders.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that teaser?
No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen the Defenders.
It's fine. It's fine. It's really just the Punisher wielding a hammer against a floor, and at the end it pulls back, and he was apparently carving the Punisher logo. And it's interspersed with shots of like his family getting killed and him killing other people, and it's just like a 20-second teaser thrown at the end of Defenders for just the fact that they wanted to get people hyped.
Yeah, it's coming at the end of the month, right?
Is it?
Or not the end of the month, the end of the year, right? I think in like December or something.
Tuesday, November 14th.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's starring that guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, John Barenthal.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Shane.
Meh. Maybe it's just I hated Shane so much, I don't really like him.
Well, that's a good thing then, that he got you to hate him.
Nah,
Yeah.
I just think I hate him because he's in real life a hateful person.
Kinda
That's
like-
probably not true. Hey, dude,
No.
you're probably a really nice guy,
John Bernthal.
but I just think you're not. So
He probably like hugs hamsters in orphanages in his free time.
Yeah, probably.
And Tim hates
and I'm
him for no
entitled to my
reason.
opinion, damn it.
Wow. Well, that's all right. I hate Matt Damon.
Yeah, you're entitled to hate Matt Damon, but this
Why do
movie's
you hate
gonna be
Matt Damon?
awesome.
Matt Damon's
I don't know why I
fantastic.
hate Matt
Suburbicon.
Damon. He's an easy target. But yeah, I saw the
I guess.
Suburbicon official trailer. That does look spectacular.
What a cool concept. Like, I love dark comedies when they're done right, and Matt Damon's good in that kind of stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
I mean,
can play
that's
the
like this.
like super straight, like, you know, it's just funny. Just his reactions are pretty funny because like he doesn't get it. You know, like he can play that sort of role, and directed by George Clooney. It's gonna be fantastic. The trailer doesn't show you too much, and that's what I love. It's just like it gives you sort of this idea that something happened, and it just kind of runs with it by giving you little spurts of comedy here and there, and it's just
I'm not
fantastic.
clear on exactly what happened.
No.
I know that his wife is dead.
I just got
But
so much
beyond
more
that-
excited for this. Yeah. I mean, his wife is dead. It looks like he and his sister-in-law may have killed
maybe.
her for an insurance money.
Maybe.
So it looks cool. Like, I like that premise because you make a comedy out of something that's clearly not funny. That the juxtaposition can always be entertaining. I love Matt Damon. I want to see more from Oscar Isaac. I really liked him in, Star Wars. And then I'm like, oh, it's directed by George Clooney. I like movies directed by George Clooney. That when he did The Ides of March was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a Coen Brothers movie. I didn't know
You can't
this.
beat it. Nope.
Oh my freaking gosh. It takes place in like the 50s or 60s too, which is a fun time period, but it's a freaking Coen Brothers movie. Every time a Coen Brothers movie comes out, I get so excited. 50% of the time, they're horrible. 50% of the time, they're so freaking amazing. And yes, I'm so excited. I love the roll of the dice. It's just, you don't know which way you're going to go. It's
You
one
never
way
know.
or the other, but I'm excited
Either
to
way.
see what numbers land up. Are we going
Something's
sevens?
going to happen.
Yeah.
I know. Yes.
Good or bad. I do feel like that roll of the dice is something that draws you to this stuff. Like, we get the Galaxy Quest TV show is back on at Amazon.
Woo.
They canceled it after the death of Hans Gruber, a year or two ago. But yeah, they brought on Paul Scheer to write it, and that's either going to be amazing or a shit show. And I don't know which yet.
I'm
But it's that
leaning
chance.
towards shit show because Tim Allen's
yeah.
involved, right?
Yes, apparently they're trying at least to bring back all of the original cast. So Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, just I don't even remember who else was in it. But they're trying to bring back everyone that was in it. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know.
I loved, believe me, Galaxy Quest, honest to God, one of my favorite parody movies of all time. Absolutely love it. Don't know that I need to see a TV show about it.
No, I don't think so.
Justin Long was in Galaxy Quest? I mean, he would have been very young, but
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yep.
interesting.
He was.
And what about that Tim
I mean,
Allen
the cast
tweet?
is good, but
There
Tim
was-
Allen just kills me.
There was a Tim Allen tweet recently that I just cringed at so hard. What did he say? He was like, if we all came from apes, why are there still apes? And I was like, oh boy, Tim Allen, I haven't heard from you in a couple years, and this is the first time I'm hearing back from you. Oh God.
And I wish it had been a couple of more years.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, please not.
Oh,
yet.
that's right. Tony Shalhoub, Sam Rockwell. They were in it too. Daryl Mitchell.
It's a cast. It's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
I mean, Galaxy Quest is alive, but rumor has it, Xena, warrior princess, is dead.
Sheesh. This guy gets a new mic
Yeah.
and now he's all segued out. Cool. Yeah, Xena. I
Right?
don't know. I think that's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I didn't need to see that.
Yeah, did you watch Xena at all? Ever?
Some. I mean, I used to watch a little bit of the Hercules show with Kevin Sorbo.
Sorbo.
And yeah, I love Sorbo. And I love Sorbo the actor, not necessarily his politics. But so I watched some of it when they had the crossovers and they had this. And if it was just on TV, back before TV was streaming and we had to just watch whatever the hell was on, and we often didn't know what was on, and they'd just switch shows off, back when in the dark ages of TV. So yeah, I've seen some of it, but it wasn't something I watched religiously. And I'm glad it's dead.
I know it had a
Yeah,
huge cult following,
want
though.
no part of this.
Yeah, the cult following is great, but I just don't understand. Like, she's a powerful woman, and I think we need more of that, but I think we also need something different, because Xena was just not, it was not good. It was not good.
No. You know what was good, though?
Oh, God.
What was good, Tim?
Hansel and Gretel. That
Oh,
movie
the
I
Witch
really
Hunters?
liked.
Yeah, Jeremy
Really?
Renner was really good in that, and I think that was just about the time. Like that, I think that sat on the shelves until he started making a name for himself, and then they finished production on it.
Yes.
So I think they got a little bit of a boost without paying him a ton of money.
Yeah, they took advantage of the Jeremy Renner hype train in a big way.
Yeah.
But that's another one. It wasn't just Jeremy Renner. I mean, the girl who played Gretel was good.
Yep.
Peter Stormare, however you say his name. He's a
Yep.
cool villain type guy. Famke
Not bad.
Janssen was in it. I mean, the cast was good. And I just thought it was a fun movie. Like, I wasn't expecting much out of it. We had it at IMAX. You weren't working there then, were you, Kev?
No, I was not. I missed
we
that.
had it in IMAX, and I'm like, well, I'll see it because it's free. And I
Right.
actually went back to see it like 2 more times. I just thought it was a
Really?
lot of
Wow.
fun, really enjoyable.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
the
the-
TV show could be good. I mean, we won't have the same actors and stuff, but premise is
No.
cool, so it could be good.
If it's done right, I don't mind when a TV show takes off from a movie and changes the actors, but you got to kind of either acknowledge it or just like work around it. I hate when they just fuck it up and don't try.
Yeah, I agree.
Shout out to
But yeah, it
Rush
should be
Hour,
darker.
which is horrible.
Oh God, no. But by that same stroke, Lethal Weapon, kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And Stargate was another one. They actually tongue-in-cheek referenced the fact that they had swapped out almost all of the actors from the movie Stargate to the TV show Stargate, and other cool facts that you can find on the Chevron Unlocked podcast
What?
that I happen to host.
Whoa.
Way to go, Kev.
Synergy, bringing it all together.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, no, that's another reboot that I think maybe enough time has passed, but maybe it's been too long for Hansel and Gretel.
We'll see.
Maybe, yeah. It's just on that
I don't know
cusp.
that
I
the
don't know.
movie itself is iconic enough for it to have to be in proximity to that. But I mean,
Exactly.
if you're talking about something like Knight Rider,
Knight Rider, that would be a good one. David Hasselhoff has been talking for years about bringing Knight Rider back.
do we care?
I care. Listen,
Yeah.
I had a Knight Rider big wheel and I had a little Knight Rider joystick game that you'd play that I taped to my bike. I thought I was Michael Knight. Yes,
Wow.
I care. And he wants a gritty live action reboot or revival with director Robert Rodriguez. He was apparently talking to him the other day, pitching all these ideas, and Robert Rodriguez turned to him and said, "Hey, you're David Hasselhoff. Can I get your autograph?"
Wow.
That was not the response he was looking for, but he wants this gritty, dark
This
reboot.
is an actual story, or
Yeah, no, this
Okay,
actually
wow.
happened. Yeah, he was with Robert Rodriguez because David Hasselhoff had been talking with James Gunn before about
wow.
a reboot of Knight Rider. And now it came out the other day that he was talking to Robert Rodriguez, who is the Grindhouse director.
Yeah.
and,
yeah.
all that
Sheesh.
other stuff. But yeah, no, he wants this to happen.
So guys, wasn't this what I talked about? Was it last week or the week before? But I wanted he's like in every movie.
Miles Teller.
Yes, thank you. So I had the idea before Hasselhoff. He just has the wrong guy starring.
Oh, yeah, he does. Because actually the studios are moving ahead and they're courting John Cena and Kevin Hart for the reboot of Knight Rider.
Terrible idea.
No, I think this is going to be great.
Nope, awful idea. John Cena can't play anything serious. It should have been my guy, James Teller, and
Miles Teller?
Yeah, Miles
James?
Teller. Something wrong with me. Miles
There's
Teller
something wrong with you.
and Paul Bettany should have been the car.
No, Kevin Hart's going to be the car.
No, Paul
Oh,
Bettany should have been
no.
the car. If that's going to be the role, there's better people. Like Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, both of those guys would be better than Kevin Hart at that role.
Kevin Hart just doesn't
Stop.
I don't know.
He just doesn't
He's
stop.
weird. No, he doesn't stop. I don't mind him. I loved him in the opposite The Rock in Central Intelligence, but I think that he just doesn't know how to turn it down.
There
Yeah.
is no volume button for him.
Yeah.
No, and there's just so many things that he's in or he was in for like a few years, and it was just like too much. It was just like like we were talking about last week, a Will Smith overload. I had like a Kevin Hart overload. I was just like, okay, he's in this movie too. He's in this. I'm okay. I'm all set. I can.
And he's way more one note than Will Smith.
yeah,
so
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like
No, there's no coming back from that.
I'm disappointed by this because I thought I had a good idea, and then Hasselhoff has to go ruin it.
Hasselhoff ruins everything.
he really wants to make this happen. Jeez, it's ridiculous.
But you know what?
Anywho.
That passion to make things happen, that can be amazing.
Yeah, you know what
You
would
guys-
be great to make happen?
What was that?
Dolph Lundgren reprising his role in the Creed sequel.
Oh God.
Really? That should happen.
It should happen.
Should it?
So,
Okay.
guys, audience people, guys, gals, women, if you saw Creed, you will know Creed was awesome. It was a great movie. Let's forget that it's a Rocky movie or whatever. It was a great movie. The story was awesome. The acting was awesome. Everything about it was really, really good. And Creed 2 could be really good too. Dolph Lundgren coming back could be really good. Kevin was all pissed off about this morning when I wanted to talk about it. He wouldn't even include it in our list of topics.
Yeah, well, I already went through the list of topics, and I couldn't figure out where to fit this in, because despite Jules's attempts, I try to put these in an order where we can talk about them from one to the next. And
Well, I just figured it out.
as I said to Tim, I haven't seen Creed. I want to see Creed, but I don't want to see Creed bad enough to actually go and see Creed. I'm going to put zero effort into it. If I happen to be walking through a room and it's on,
Sure,
and I
yeah.
trip and I can't get up because I hit my head or something, I will watch it.
So that's-
but I'm not going to do any more than that.
That's
I
what
went
it's
to the
gonna take.
theater and I saw it and I cried. Stallone made me cry. It was that good.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I haven't seen it either.
And Dolph
so
Lundgren is huge, so that's cool.
huge.
Huge as in swole, or
Yeah, right? Is that the thing? His
sure,
muscles are
yeah.
big. I don't know.
We'll go with
Still, he's kind
Yeah,
of
he's
old
tall.
though. No.
Yeah, did you not see any of the Expendables movies? The guy's still
Yeah.
enormous.
Yeah. He could still kill me. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, he could kill all three of us simultaneously with one hand.
Yeah,
Just like-
that's pretty much exactly what's going to happen too once he hears this.
Sure.
Shut up.
Oh, But you know what? That passion does do good things. The cast of Super Troopers, I think it's Broken Lizard, the production company, actually went on Kickstarter and raised enough money to make Super Troopers 2.
Hell yeah.
Which is set for a 4/20 release next year.
Hey.
Really?
Yeah, basically, they came out and said that they can't tell you when the movie is releasing, but that it's a springtime date, and there's a very obvious date, which happens to fall on a Friday this year. So it's going to be April 20th.
Can anybody explain to me why they needed to go to Kickstarter to make this happen?
You know,
because nobody wants to fund their movies because they're decent, but they don't make a shitload of money.
Yeah, but this is Super Troopers. The cult following around Super Troopers is so massive.
Exactly.
That all they have to do is
for it.
release it, and it's going to make money. Because it's not going to cost anything. I mean, these guys aren't asking for big paychecks or anything like that. So...
yeah,
I don't know. I think nobody wanted to back them. I think no one wanted to give them even a small amount of money.
I think also
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
stupid.
of people put down asking their fans for money, because I know there's like a lot of stuff even for Patreon for people like, oh, you ask your people to help you out for your content. It's like, yeah, you know, you make this stuff and the people that like it will help you out too. And you know, people that do like these larger projects like movies or anything. I mean, we saw with the Hook movie, people, I guess, liked it enough to back it and like, hey, that's cool for those people and all that stuff. So like, I mean, why not just ask your fan base, hey, you know, if you really like this, just give us some money and we can make it. And an overwhelming support usually happens with movies like this.
Since Super Troopers, which was not their first, Puddle Cruiser was apparently their first movie. I haven't seen that. But since Super Troopers, we've had Club Dread, which was terrible. Beer Fest, which was really good, but
really
also
funny.
terrible at the same time. And then something called The Slammin' Salmon, which I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Broken Lizard Stands Up. Again, no idea what that is.
Slammin' Salmon is clearly a porno.
Sounds it. And then something called Freeloaders, which again, I haven't seen. Mostly because I haven't heard of any of these. So I think that while they do have that cult following, I think nobody knows who the fuck they are.
Yeah, I agree. I think people know Super Troopers though, and I think there's enough people out there that they would have gotten a return on it. I just think this is short-sighted. I can't imagine that they had to crowdfund for this. It's crazy.
Well, maybe they're going to turn whatever profits they get from this into their next movie. This is definitely a labor of love for them. Like, you
no
can
question.
see it. You can absolutely see it in them.
Yeah, I can see it in them.
You know what isn't a labor of love?
What?
Shazam, the next DC movie that they're going to be filming.
Does nobody love it?
You know what? Honestly, I just feel like nobody cares, like much like Super Troopers. Nobody gives a shit about Shazam.
I think that way more people give a shit about Super Troopers than Shazam. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Shazam should be a place that DC is going because no one is asking for it, and they're not going to make it something spectacular. They're just going to make it to try to make money.
I mean, I didn't give a shit about Doctor Strange, and now I love it. It's like one of my favorite movies from the universe.
I'm over here shaking my head though, Jules, because that's Marvel.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
But DC
I'm
can't
optimistic.
even do well with
I'm
the stuff that
trying.
we do like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they're working on a prequel Joker origin movie that's completely separate from the rest of the universe, and they're working on Suicide Squad 2, even though Suicide Squad 1 was horrible, and we just need to forget that it ever happened.
They're just going to do it again to try and get it right this time, you know?
No. No.
More Will Smith.
I mean, that's the thing. They're doing the prequel, the Joker origin story set in the 80s.
with
that has
possibly
no
a different
connection.
actor, yeah.
With definitely a different actor. They're not bringing back Jared Leto, which, fine, whatever, I don't care. But if you're trying to make this big universe, then focus on making this big universe. If you're going to make separate movies, make separate movies. Find your voice and use it, DC. You're all over the place.
Taking aside the whole universe, non-universe thing, I actually really like the premise of this, and I would want to see it if it was good. Chances are it
The
won't
Joker
be,
origin?
but I would really like to see it.
But that's my thing. Like, honest to God, if they were just like, here it is, we did this because we love it, because we found a story that's amazing, and we just think that it's going to work, fine. but they're not doing any of that. Like, these are all movies that they are calculating to be what people want to watch and just churning out scripts for, or setting dates for release and then trying to find a director and then hoping a script magically appears on their doorstep.
Is that what the Star Wars people are doing? Or are they like really thinking this stuff through? What do you think, Kev?
I think that they're doing the same thing with Star Wars. I think that they're just kind of shotgunning shit everywhere, which hurts me so much because I love Star Wars. I love it. I'm going to have to post my Star Wars wall to Patreon this week because it's just, I love it. Star Wars is, to me, the holy grail of space science fiction operas. And it's being shit on by mismanagement, I feel like, because we had the directors of Han Solo replaced by little Opie there, and he fired Michael K. Williams because Michael K. Williams' schedule didn't work in reshoots.
That's ridiculous to hear.
They're either getting rid of a character that was in the original shots, or they're recasting a character completely at this point. We don't know which.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he has a vision, that's fine. But I feel like the studio should have sat down and said, this is the movie we want you to create. Or, what movie do you want to create? Let's see if it fits our vision. And not get almost 2 weeks away from being done filming and then step in and replace the directors.
I'm still optimistic about this one, though. And I'm not going to claim to be a Star Wars fan on your level, Kevin, or even remotely close to your level. So when they start delving into, like, there's talk about Yoda and Boba Fett and all that kind of stuff, there's all these stories that they have to take into consideration that I'm not even remotely aware of. But the last two movies have both been really, really, really good. So until the Han Solo movie comes out and it's not good, which is possible, but until they release something that's not good, I don't want to say that they're just, ruining things or blah, 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 blah. I'm willing to give it a shot. If it's bad, I'm on board with you. But until they show me one that isn't good, I'm not prepared to make that assertion.
I'm reserving judgment, and I hope to God it's going to be good. Because, God damn it, I need more good Star Wars in my life.
You don't want that Jabba the Hutt film?
I wish they hadn't canceled the live action show that they were working on. I don't really care about the Jabba the Hutt film. Like, I don't think Jabba the Hutt is an interesting character on his own. I think if they were going to do a Jabba the Hutt film, they probably should have done that before Han Solo so that they could weave Han Solo into it.
But to counter that, Kevin, you
take that back.
I will not.
I need an origin story, please. I need all that.
Well, maybe the Jabba the Hutt spin-off or that movie will be woven into the Han Solo movie.
But if they're working on it now, I guarantee they won't be.
No, but what I'm saying is maybe the Jabba the Hutt character is in the Han Solo movie, and that gave them the inspiration to go and do the other.
That he would the character was so good, they're like, oh, we want to give it some more room to breathe. So here's a whole other movie.
Maybe there's just a story around it, that they discovered. They go, oh, hey, we could explore this. This could be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's possible.
I think they're afraid to give us a Boba Fett movie because I think they're afraid that they're going to have the same problem they had in the prequels, where you've got this guy that has no story and 5 minutes total screen time that has this weird cult devotion following to him that people have come up with all of these backstories for, and there's novels dedicated to him, and there's all this stuff. And then in the prequels, they make him this small child who's a clone of a weird guy who gets killed for no reason. And I think that was just a letdown, and I think they're afraid to do that again. If we have that Darth Vader, anything about young Darth Vader moment where you've got Boba Fett who's a badass, and then all of a sudden you make him not a badass, people are just going to shit all over the movie. Yeah. And so I kind of get why they'd be talking Jabba the Hutt and Yoda and, the Twi'lek dancing girl from Jabba's palace and, the pig guard and the spider creature in the brain jar and all of these other weird things that they may be considering. But give us what we want. Give us fucking Boba Fett, but make it awesome. Sit down and have a plan.
Boba Fett does have this mystique, and I will say, I obviously have no idea where it comes from, but the mystique that character has for literally like doing nothing is incredible.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's literal books based on him, and in the extended universe books, the Legends books now, he's Jaster Muriel, this like bounty hunter that he doesn't speak. He has this Mandalorian armor, and it's just like his armor is unique, and it's this and it's that, and he's, you know, impersonated by other people, and he finds and kills Jodo Kast, the guy who's impersonating him, and just like he's a fucking badass. He even survived the Sarlacc in the books. He gets eaten by that big desert vagina, and that thing digests you over 1,000 years, and he spends like a week vacation in there and then fights his way out, and he's the only person ever to have done that. Like, this is a badass through and through in the books. Because on screen, he was a dude who was hired. He stood there, and then Han Solo got captured by the stormtroopers, and then he got knocked off of a sand barge and flew himself into a giant sand vagina. I think I've literally recapped every moment he had on screen.
I think we should do a Star Wars episode, like not just when the next movie comes out, not something that obvious, but just a real geeked out Star Wars episode. And when I say we, I mean we should just let Kevin talk for an hour.
Yeah, there you go. And we'll just be like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's
really
cool.
I had no idea.
Whoa, he's the one with the. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, just a bunch of that.
Yeah. Fine.
We'll do it. If you want to hear that, we'll do it sometime soon. Listeners, just tweet us, Nerdy Things Pod, if you're a big Star Wars fan, or if you want to compete with Kevin's Star Wars nerdiness, you can do that too. Just tweet us, tweet him as well. You can do all that.
Listen, Star Wars gave me like a really big appreciation for Harrison Ford, and I was sad. Spoiler alert that he died in The Force Awakens. But apparently Disney's Animal Kingdom is planning an Indiana Jones land.
I was ready to make that transition, Kevin, so thanks for doing it. That was nice.
No problem.
I'm so excited for this. I love Indiana Jones. Like, as a kid, I was obsessed with Indiana Jones. I love Indiana Jones. I am so freaking excited for walking through scenes and stuff related to Indiana Jones.
Yeah, apparently they're going to do it like they did with the Pandora world from the Avatar, and knock down Dino Land in the Animal Kingdom and rebrand half the rides and just fuck up the other half and make it an Indiana Jones land.
Yeah, Dino Land was just okay.
I'm kind of on board. It's got some neat things, like, but rebrand them. I'm in.
So they had the world of Avatar before they had Indiana Jones Land. I just want to make that clear.
Well,
just
in their defense, they had to be ready for the release of the Avatar movie, which should have been released like 2 years ago.
Did the world of Avatar, did that take like 10 years to make as well, or just no? Is it up right now? Can I go see it?
Yeah, it's there.
It actually, judging by what they did in Disney, it took them like 3 weeks, and that 2 guys working weekends to put it up. So
that's a complete fabrication. But I think what this really means is that there will be another Indiana Jones movie. I mean, they've been talking about it. It's more or less been confirmed, but I think this kind of confirms it because obviously they'll want to time it and, you know, it'll be a thing. But I'm super excited. I don't know if I'm super excited for the movie because the last one was so terrible. But I just think the land will be cool. It'll be fun to experience. So I'm stoked for that.
Yeah. I really hope I can like swing over a chasm with a whip.
Yes.
And like if you don't make it, you fall into a pit of real snakes. Because that's what I look forward to.
As long as they give everybody a hat to grab when you drop it.
Yes. Oh my God. Or you got to reach under the giant stone door. And, you either get a hat to keep as a prize or a squished hand.
I'm gonna buy a hat. Who am I kidding?
You're gonna buy everything.
But I'm gonna buy one anyway.
A whip and everything.
I have a wand. I may as well have Indiana Jones.
The wand
hat
was
with
expensive. Jeez.
Yeah, and I bought one of the ones like the interactive ones too.
Yeah, me too.
How could I not? I mean, give me a break.
Great. You're both fools.
I have it.
I did
put it
it
on
the
Patreon.
first time. The first time I went, I got engaged. There was enough expenses going on. I couldn't justify the wand. But the second time I went back, I'm like, give me that wand. I want that one.
Very cool.
I needs that wand.
I gotta go swish and flick in front of the canteen and make the water come out.
Nice.
You know what was the coolest thing was the girl, when I was buying the wand, she was like, are you going to be paying with Muggle paper or Muggle plastic? And I was like,
Marry me.
So cool, right?
But yeah, what kind of stuff is going to be in the gift shop for Indiana Jones Land? Go ahead and tweet us what you think. All that stuff. We need some tweets of the week. Go ahead and tweet us
Fertility
at Nerdy Things Pod.
idols.
Yeah.
Giant saw blades at neck height.
There you go. All that stuff in the gift shop for Indiana Jones Land.
Yeah. So in video game news this week, I only had one thing. I don't know if Jules had anything else, but apparently EA and BioWare have killed Mass Effect.
Good.
There's going to be nothing coming out from Mass Effect Andromeda.
Kill it.
No new patches, no solo, no nothing. Just dead.
So you know what happened with Andromeda? It just came out it was so buggy when it came out.
Yep.
And Mass Effect, the one before, it was so good. And it was just like, hey, you could have spent a little bit more time on Andromeda, and this is not good at all. I don't know what y'all were doing. What's going on? You just needed more time with this sort of game.
But we live in the world of early access. We live in the world of beta releases.
Alpha releases too, yeah.
Yeah, and these companies think that's okay. They think that they can release shit and then patch it and make it better. And I think that people need to stand up to that. So I'm on board with them canceling it and learning a lesson if they learn the lesson.
They're not. They're just going to make another one. But, I mean, I was looking for gaming news and all that stuff, but everybody's playing PlayerUnknown's Battleground, League of Legends, or if somebody's off and they have a Nintendo device, Nintendo Switch or whatever, they're just playing Mario or Zelda or something. But something really cool is that PlayerUnknown Battleground has the record for the most people playing online or something, because they're groups of 100. Their matchmaking is 100 people, and it's just it's just an intense game. If you haven't kept up with it, PlayerUnknown Battleground, everybody's been playing it for the past 5 or 6 months or whatever. But either that one or League of Legends, and everybody's just playing those two. So nothing too crazy in gaming. Mass Effect's trying to get back into it, but no, they sadly nope.
Hey Kevin, is Rabbids in the mail yet?
Oh, Rabbids.
It's not in the mail yet, as far as I know, but I have been watching it anxiously because I am super excited.
We're gonna play this week when it comes in.
Nice. I cannot wait. That is going to be so sweet.
Yeah, see,
that is honest to God going to be my new favorite game. I'm calling it now.
See, everybody's just hyped for the PlayerUnknowns or whatever, and then you have everybody else that's just, oh my God, Mario games, Switch games, and all this stuff. So those are two different types of gamers that are happening right now, and I'm okay with it because I'm totally on that Switch hype train because Rabbids looks so good, and I'm so jealous that y'all are gonna be playing it.
Well, Jules, by the time Mario, whatever they're calling this new one, is gonna Odyssey, you're gonna get the Switch, right?
Yeah, I know.
You know what's happening.
Yeah.
I love that resignation. I remember that sigh of resignation. I had the same one after our episode 4 when we did the Switch.
In the meantime, did you get your hands on an SNES Classic yesterday?
Oh, that's the other news. Yeah,
no.
It was sold out.
I'm not going to either. I don't care for it.
I asked for it for Christmas, so it's on my wife.
And
she told me yesterday she was stressed out.
Oh no.
She's like, you better be getting me a good Christmas present because this is stressing me out.
That's awesome.
So Nintendo has promised that they will do more restocks this time. The pre-order sold out real quick, but I think there's going to be some available release day, and that they're going to do more restocks, prior to the Christmas season they did last year. They've held to their promise. They underestimated the demand of the Switch to start off with, and it took a little while, but they're churning some out now. It seems like every couple weeks there's a bunch available. So, we'll see how it goes. Not ready to kill them on this one yet.
Yep. No, we'll see. I don't really care for the re-releases of the older systems. Keep them if you're that nostalgic for it. Don't throw it out. Don't sell it for 13 cents to GameStop to get the next game.
I have the old ones, but the thing that's appealing to this, well, twofold in this case. One is the convenience. It's this tiny little thing. It's got all these games on it. I don't need to load cartridges. I don't need a place to store it. I don't need a RCA cable to HDMI converter. I mean,
True.
It just plugs right in. But in this case, dude, we are getting an unreleased game.
That's right.
I mean,
what game was that?
Star Fox 2.
Oh, shit.
And Star Fox 2 was pretty much finished before they were moving on to a new console, and it just didn't fit, their release scheme anymore. But Star Fox, the original Star Fox was a great game. So this is a cool bit of gaming history for someone to be involved with. You get to play it. Is the exclusive home to play Star Fox 2, a game 30 years, 25 years, whatever the heck it is in the making. So pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, I did not get it. Sadly, it sold out in like less than like 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't get it either because I don't care. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up, I just wanted to touch on the fact that comedy legend Jerry Lewis has died at the ripe young age of 91. Apparently he passed peacefully of natural causes with his family at his side.
Yeah, that's good at least.
Yeah, sad news, but yeah, he had a good run. He was a super funny guy. He did a lot for comedy.
Very funny guy, did a lot for charity, did a lot for comedy, said some horribly offensive things to women.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But in the long run, net positive.
Yes.
Just don't want to ignore. Sometimes I think, you ignore part of history, to
a lot, yeah.
celebrate someone. And you can't forget the fact that the guy said awful things about women. But he was a genius comedian, writer, director, and raised $2 billion for charity, and that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. All right, I think that just about does it for Nerdy News this week. So it is time to move on to the main topic.
So guys, fall TV shows.
Fall TV. We're going to do the fall TV lineup.
And there's a lot of stuff looking into this.
There's a shitload of stuff.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about like season 2s or season 3s of whatever? Or
yes.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think we should talk about like what's new. Let's start off with what's new.
Yep.
Because people have their stuff that they watch. We don't really need to necessarily inform them of that, although it might be something that they missed. But what's really exciting about the fall TV season is the new shows. The ones that might be great, the ones that will probably be horrible, but the things that we haven't seen yet. Because the unknown is always more exciting than the known.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to start out with the Orville. The Orville's coming out September 10th at 8 p.m. on Fox.
So, Jules, what's the Orville about?
Seth MacFarlane doing his thing, doing that the whole parody thing, live action. It has that sort of, well, actually, maybe it's like a 70-30 of it being good. The possibility of it being good, but I'm slowly not becoming a fan of Seth MacFarlane, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like him in Logan Lucky. I think he was the worst part of Logan Lucky, which I saw this past week.
I forgot he was in it.
For anybody listening, I posted a mostly spoiler-free review of Logan Lucky to our Patreon, which actually this one should be available to the public by now. And I did it in the style of Rick and Morty, the commercial from the alternate reality TV for the two brothers. They're just two brothers.
Oh God, don't do it.
So give that a listen. But Seth MacFarlane was the worst part of that movie. I don't dislike him. I just think, much like Chris Hart, he doesn't have the ability to turn it down. Kevin Hart. Sorry. We're all bad with names. But I think that he doesn't have that ability to turn it down like Kevin Hart. And I am looking forward to
we're bad with
because it is going to be like I said, Galaxy Quest was spectacular. This hopefully will fill a similar role to Galaxy Quest, because even though Galaxy Quest was that like super parody, this doesn't seem to be a super parody. This seems to be a comedy set in a world like Star Trek. So they're off exploring and wacky things happen. I hope that they rein in him a little bit, because Jon Favreau as a director should work for the first pilot episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's just going to be for the first episode, though. So I'm sure the first episode is going to be good, but I don't know. We're going to have to see. That's why it's 70-30 for me, because that 30% is whether Seth MacFarlane does a good job or not, or is his normal self. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's when we talked about this the very first time, my opinion on Seth MacFarlane is he's either hit or miss. He's kind of like the Coen brothers, although more misses in my opinion.
Sure.
That's just my taste. But he's like hit or miss. And with a movie, I just think having him for 2 hours, it's easier to hit. But the TV series thing, I don't know, dude. Especially where it's mostly him. Like, he's writing it. He's directing a lot of the episodes. If Jon Favreau were the series director, which God bless him if they could convince him to do that, I'd feel a little bit differently. But I don't know. We'll see.
But I also think there's more cast in this.
I really want to like this.
There's more opportunity for other people. Like, I think other people with Seth MacFarlane's jokes can often work too.
Sure.
Because it's not him delivering them. A lot of what makes me hate him is that smug overacting, like
that good-looking kind of guy.
Yeah, he looks like a 2-year-old doing an accent every time. That's what it is. It doesn't work. He doesn't have acting chops in the same way. He's just a brash dude, and that works for some of his roles. I don't think he's a good actor. I think that's just who he is.
Agreed. 100% nail on the head right
so
there.
the Orville, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, that same night, we're also going to get The Deuce on HBO with James Franco and his brother,
Nice.
James Franco.
Wait, hold on. I kept passing by this one because, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just don't watch HBO shows all that much. This has the Franco brothers in it?
No, this has James Franco and James Franco. He plays twins.
Oh, dude, I'm totally watching this.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Maggie
How did I
Gyllenhaal.
miss this?
Yeah, I mean, this is set in the 70s. This is about, like, the porn/prostitution industry.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, James Franco's brother, James Franco, owes some people money, and they think he's the guy, and so it's, you know, awful and awesome, and he just decides to get into porn to pay everybody back because he's into people for money now. I'm kind of in. Like, I hadn't really given this anything until this morning when I was doing a little bit of research for this episode, and I said, fine, I'll watch the frickin' trailer, and I loved it. I recommend it. Check it out.
I'm a little iffy on the subject matter, but I usually give most anything James Franco does a chance.
I'm just gonna, watch it. I'm gonna make Jenny watch it with me and not tell her what it's about.
And HBO's gonna go, kind of deep into it with all that stuff. So yeah,
heck yeah. I'll have to ask her to get me a snack when the graphic nudity warning comes up.
That was a really good euphemism, Jules.
What are you talking about? What? You can hear me smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it even says right here, Maggie Gyllenhaal tests her comfort zone with The Deuce. So we'll see.
Dropping the deuce.
9 p.m.
So you're going to see a pattern with me. I'm a big sitcom guy. Like, I think I've got one of these shows that's kind of like a crime drama, but I'm generally, when it comes to TV, pretty simple. Like, I like the sitcoms. I might get into some other stuff, after it's been around for a while, like Sons of Anarchy, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, I'm going to jump on board with a sitcom really early. And there's one that really piqued my interest. It's called Me, Myself, and I. You guys see the preview for this?
I did. I watched that this morning as well.
Really interesting concept. It's this guy who we know from the trailer, I think, turns out to be a great inventor of something or some things.
Right.
But we see him throughout the episodes at snapshots in different points in his life. So we see him as a kid when he's moving and his mom's getting remarried and he's going to a new school. Awkward, And then we see him as Bobby Moynihan, who I think is very funny. Yeah. When he first came on Saturday Night Live, I was not into Bobby Moynihan, but he grew on me, and I've come to appreciate him. He's a funny dude.
I think he's grown up, too. Like, I think when he first started on SNL, I think it was the same as Seth MacFarlane. I think he wasn't a funny, awkward dude. I think he was just an awkward dude. Like, not a good actor. That was just him.
Agreed.
But now I think he's grown up. He kind of gained some skill, and we're seeing that, because I do like him now.
Yeah, I've everything he's done, and even his work in Saturday Night Live over the last 6 years has been awesome. So he plays the just divorced 40-year-old version of himself who's living in his friend's garage. And then we have John Larroquette, who, I mean, we don't need to say enough about John Larroquette. Great comedic actor who plays the older, presumably at one point successful version of himself. So the cast is good from the main actor standpoint. This is the return to TV of Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Steve Urkel plays his friend. Like, this is interesting. Yeah. So I'm on board with this.
That was Jaleel White?
You didn't know that?
Yeah. I didn't recognize him.
Yes,
I'm face blind. You know that, Tim.
Oh, God.
That was Stefan Urkel, actually. Like, he looked way cooler than Steve Urkel.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah, so like the cast is good, and it's a unique concept. Like it's an exploratory type sitcom, and I think those tend to be some of the best. So I'm really excited about this
what
one.
I'm not excited about is the show that comes before that. I guess it's 2 slots before that, because it's Young Sheldon at 8:30 on Monday, September 25th. And then they're going to show
totally mixed feelings.
Then
on
they're
this
going
one.
to show Kevin Can Wait, which we're not going to get into. And then Me, Myself, and I.
Hold on, that's a good 2-hour block. You got Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, Kevin Can Wait, Me, Myself, and I. Man, that's a roller coaster of emotions right there. Jeez.
Yeah, it's some ups and
Not
downs.
all the good
for
ones.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Scorpion, another show that I absolutely hate.
But yeah,
thoughts on Young Sheldon?
Do I have to?
Yeah, I mean, I need you need to share your opinion.
If we can get him when he's young, maybe we can stop the whole Big Bang Theory.
we go back in time.
What?
No, I like Big Bang Theory, but I'm not on board for Young Sheldon. I don't think we need a young prequel narrated by Jim Parsons about an awkward kid and his weird mother. We get that. I get that at home every day. That's called my life.
What else was
it's
this
too
kid in?
autobiographical for Kevin. Jules, what
else was this little kid in? Because he looks familiar.
Oh no, introducing so and so is what they say in the commercial.
Okay. I think
so. He's new to the scene. Talent search. They found him.
Ian
He's
Armitage.
Jules' neighbor.
Yeah. It's like, oh hey, no, yeah, we don't need it. I don't think I need it. I'm okay. Big Bang Theory is good. It's has its whole cult thing. I don't think Young Sheldon's gonna go anywhere close to that, but you know, that it's whatever. I don't know.
I'm gonna reserve judgment. So that's how I'm going about this. I don't think there's any need for this. I'm not counting on it being good, but I want to give it a shot. This is another Jon Favreau's busy dude. Jon Favreau's directing an episode of this.
Really?
So he's just doing a bunch of episodes of different shows, just like 1 or 2 of them?
Yeah, apparently this is what he's doing like in his spare time. He's like, not directing a superhero movie right now. Let's try some TV.
That's amazing. That actually doesn't make me change my opinion at all, though.
Well, he's directing an episode. Chuck Lorre has a pretty good track record on TV. And as far as I understand, Jim Parsons been pretty heavily involved in this. And I think Jim Parsons is a talented dude, likable guy. So I am reserving judgment. I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm not counting on liking it.
Yeah.
I'll give it the good 3-episode watch and then decide whether I'm going to keep doing it or not.
I'm probably going to binge it once it's on Hulu or something. That's for certain, but I'm not going to like it.
Bold prediction from Kevin. You want to know one that I know I won't like? I really wanted to like it. There's another sitcom, 9JKL.
Mm-hmm.
So 9JKL is about a guy who's an actor and his show gets canceled. His wife leaves him, so he moves back to the apartment next to his parents. One of his parents is Jack Geller from Friends, who I love Jack Geller. He's awesome. So that kind of got me intrigued. His brother is a guy who played Sam from New Girl. Don't know if you guys know him. He's tall, good-looking dude, funny.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this cast, and I'm like, oh, all right. I think I could get into this. I like the concept. I like the people involved. And then I saw the trailer, and it is the sitcomiest sitcom that ever sitcom. And it looks horrific.
Yeah. Tim made me watch the first minute of it, and I was like, wow, this is like, if you would have tilted it a little bit to the left or the right, it would have been funny, but as it sits right now, it's just like, it's just a little off. And why are we still doing this sitcom style show? Why are these, these sitcoms that, I mean, obviously, Tim, you really like the sitcom stuff, but does this formula still work in 2017? I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, most of the great sitcoms do something a little different.
Sure.
I mean, the sitcoms that I've always enjoyed have always been something that ends up, making a name for themselves. I mean, Seinfeld was revolutionary. Friends was, took the whole group sitcom comedy and added this woven story element into it. Mm-hmm. Frasier did a lot of that same kind of thing. Big Bang Theory.
How I Met Your Mother.
Took nerd humor and brought it mainstream. I'm trying to think of some of the sitcoms. Third Rock from the Sun was a sitcom that, could have been very sitcom-y, but it brought good actors and they gave nuanced performances.
Sure.
And it was about a fish out of water thing. Like, so all of these sitcoms that I've really, really enjoyed in my lifetime have done something that's made them unique and different and had their own voice. But when it's just a sitcom-y sitcom, there's nothing worse.
Yeah.
I mean, this can be either the best genre or the absolute worst that television has to
No, I mean,
offer.
I'm looking forward to The Good Place and Superstore. Those were two from, 2 years ago that were just amazing shows.
Yep.
And they did something completely different. I mean, they had good actors, they had good writing, they were funny, but they weren't like the same formula every time.
No, The Good Place was a really good show. You didn't know where it was going. It kept you on your toes. Kevin wrote on the set of it or something like that. Or was I not supposed to talk about that?
No,
out loud, Kevin?
you know what? They're not allowed to talk about that. Definitely didn't carve my name into one of the beams in the diner when I visited the set. For anybody listening, that was not me.
him.
That is a different Kevin. It's just a coincidence.
Even though it says Kevin from the Nerdy Things podcast, that's not this Kevin. It's a different Kevin.
But Ted Danson, sitcom legend. He knows how to do sitcoms right. And then, my wife and I love watching that show because it's got Kristen Bell, one of our friends who doesn't know that she's friends with us yet, her and Dax. So that's cool too. But that show, it brought you something different. It's a sitcom, but it has its own voice. And that's when they're really good, really fun, really entertaining.
Yeah. I do like it when they do something different. Another one I'm looking forward to, it's not a sitcom, but they're apparently doing a bunch of different stuff, is going to be Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. They're doing 2 episodes on CBS, and then everything else after that is just going to be CBS All Access, unless you live in another country, in which case it's all just going to be free on Netflix.
What? Really? Is that how they're doing that? That's really
that's
weird.
Exactly how they're doing it. If you live in the US,
that's the most experimental television show release of all time.
So
wow.
That's
so
fine.
If you have an access code for a different Netflix whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to invest in a VPN. Like, I'd rather spend $5 a month on a VPN than give CBS $5 a month for their thing. That's exactly
shows,
where I am with this. I don't care.
That the CBS stuff is on the Hulu Unlimited service, right? They're the only streaming service that has CBS.
Yes, but apparently Discovery is not doing that.
Discovery is not on Hulu Unlimited?
Star Trek Discovery. Is not going to be on Hulu Unlimited. They're going to be only the first 2 episodes probably will be, but after that, everything else is just going to be on CBS's streaming service.
And there's not a crossover there. That's crazy.
Nope. Yeah, and that's exactly the problem with all these streaming services, because I don't want to spend $60 a year, which is what it costs, for limited commercials with CBS, or $99 a year for no commercials, except maybe some commercials with CBS.
Yeah, that's not worth it at all.
I mean, one cool thing about Discovery, though, in a little side story, I make and sell nerdy ties, and I had a guy buy a tie from me a couple of days ago, and he was like, "Hey, I want to wear this on the set or at the premiere of Star Trek Discovery." And so I made a Star Trek tie for him. I sent it off, and I got a message from him that was like, "Hey, there's a problem with the tie." So I made him a new tie, and my wife was like, "What's the difference? It's not like anybody's going to be looking at him." And I was like, "Right?" So I Googled him, and apparently he's one of the main actors, Kenneth Mitchell. So I sent him a replacement tie. So there's that. So I'm kind of looking forward to Discovery, and I hope to see my tie on some
the
premiere
red
pictures.
carpet. Hell yeah, that'd be super cool.
That'd be kind of
shout out your whatever. He's gonna be like,
yeah. And
hey.
I tried to get Kevin to get that guy on the show, but
I really don't want to reach out to
it.
someone whose tie I screwed up. Hey, I know I made it
Just
wrong,
be better.
but maybe you could come onto the podcast and yell at me.
I'm better at podcasting than I am at tie making. Please.
I hope.
Looking at your feet, kicking around dirt. Hey, I do this kind of podcast. I know it's kind of dumb, but it's not as I don't know.
We have like more than 2 listeners.
We have over multiple. We established this.
Yeah,
last
there you
week.
go. Be vague.
Hey, so another show. This gets into my non-sitcom-y thing too.
Yeah.
Wisdom of the Crowd.
Wisdom of the Crowd. I have no idea what that is.
I'm gonna have to look that one.
I told you about it yesterday, Kevin, and you poo-pooed.
I don't care. Tell me again.
So the idea is Jeremy Piven who I love.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh,
I
cool.
remember shitting all over this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Jeremy Piven, who I love, who is an awesome actor, very intense when he wants to be, very funny when he wants to be. He plays like a multi-billion-dollar tech mogul, I think, but his daughter gets murdered. And the whole trial goes on, and they get a guy in jail. He actually thinks it's the wrong guy, though. From something happens, I don't know what, but he's convinced that they've got the wrong guy. So he resigns from his position as head of this, crazy corporation, and he devotes all of his resources to this app or service that he's created that basically crowdfunds detective work. It allows everybody to share information that they can find, analyze the evidence, and then, try and catch this person. So his one end goal is to find the real killer for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But along the way, people start turning up other information that allows them to potentially solve other cases. And he's like, no, I want to focus on this. But I think he acquiesces and they end up using the service to solve crimes. And I just think it's a cool concept. And I love Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch it just for him.
Sure. I mean, that's a super cool concept, except that's just called Reddit. Reddit does that now.
Except it's like an actual thing that people can interact with and real time. With visuals, with audio. Like, part of it is like, hey, we've got a visual on this guy who we think is a suspect sitting on a park bench, and we think he's talking with a cohort. And you're walking your dog. Can we gain access to your cell phone for audio while you're able to walk your dog or by there and not look suspicious? And then boom, we have him admitting that he's doing something. Like, that's a really cool idea. And the girl who played Tonks in the Harry Potter movie is a big part in it. So that's super cool to me as well. So yeah, I'm like full on with this one.
Yeah. Natalia Tena.
I can see that.
Jeremy Piven. I'm cool with that. Anybody hyped for Will and Grace? The reunion is coming. No? Coming back?
No. I'm negative hyped for this.
Yeah.
I just lost all the hype. Yeah. Took all that
I
hype
am
out of
Negative
it.
hyped for Roseanne.
Oh,
I'm
no.
negative hyped for all of these reboots.
I am hyped for Ghosted on Fox.
Yes!
October
Okay,
1st.
okay.
Craig Robinson, Adam Scott, Ghosts. I'm in. I'm on board.
Two guys that have no business being
Doing-
detectives become
Yep.
detectives as part of an underground government organization, but they're Adam Scott and Robbins, so like, that's great.
Yeah,
Robinson.
no, they're so fucking funny. Like,
Yes.
I'm on board with this 100%. I cannot wait. Please, this is just going to be so much fun.
And speaking of that, like guys that are in kind of this is the end type movies, we've
Yep.
got another one from Seth Rogen.
What's this one?
This is
Oh,
Future
the one
Man.
right. Yeah,
Seth
yeah.
Rogen. I was thinking Seth MacFarlane, and my brain was like, no.
Nope.
Yeah, no, Future Man with Josh Hutcherson.
Yep.
Oh, that's another one I'm looking
why
forward
don't
to.
you
That's
talk
on Hulu.
about that one?
So yeah, but anyways, this TV show wins for best trailer. A lot of these trailers show you the actual TV show. This one fails to do so. It's a movie studio, and it's Seth Rogen like bossing people around and treating Josh Hutcherson like a little puppy dog, and then explaining how they're gonna revolutionize TV by using actual laser guns, and then he blows up the craft food table and shoots off Josh Hutcherson's arm.
I'm in.
So-
I'm 100% on board for this.
Yeah, it's very exciting. The cast looks good, and I just love that style of comedy. So
Yeah, that's
totally
what,
stoked.
November 14th on Hulu. That is going to be amazing.
Cool.
The Mayor. Did you guys see this
No,
one?
is that another
The
one I
Mayor.
missed?
Yeah, so
There's way too much coming.
I know, right? So this is another. I can't decide if this is a sitcom or just like a comedy, but it's this young kind of African American kid who's trying to make it as a rapper, and he's not making it as a rapper, and he decides to run for mayor for publicity, but through the course of the debates and stuff, like he really relates to the town and kind of is the voice that they want, so he wins.
Yeah,
And-
I can see this. This is it. Yvette Nicole Brown is in this. I'm in
Yes.
already.
Yeah, she plays the mom, and she kind of talks him into like actually following through with his commitment. And they make a little veiled Trump joke. They're like, "Yeah, there's no way that somebody like this could get elected," blah blah blah. But it looks funny. It just looks really funny and heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I like the guys that are in it. Seem like they get good chemistry. So I was on the fence when I first saw the trailer, but once I watched it, I was like, "Yeah, I'm totally on board. This looks good."
Yep.
It does feel like it could be a little too sitcom-y, like what we were talking about before. But as long as that doesn't come up, I think it's going to be pretty funny because it does look pretty funny.
Calm down. But that's October 3rd. I'm going to have to set aside some time, 9:30. I think I can get home from work in time.
On ABC.
Alex Inc. We talked about this before. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Does that have a release date yet, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like in the fall schedule.
It's called The Startup, no? Did it change names, or it's still Alex Inc.?
I thought it was Alex Inc.
No, it's not Startup, I don't think.
Okay, that was the podcast, sorry.
Yeah, that was
based off of.
But I can't find Alex Inc. in the release schedule.
It came up in all of like my lists of fall TV shows to watch.
They haven't given it a date yet.
Okay.
So there's no release date for that yet, but I am looking forward to that. That's the one about Gimlet Media and Alex's
mid-season.
fight.
It's going to be mid-season. So like when there's a winter break, I think they're going to give it a shot. So
yeah, I am looking forward to that. That should be pretty good.
Inhumans, we talked about that one already, right? Like
which one?
In a past episode, Marvel's Inhumans.
Inhumans, yeah. That's
on
another
ABC.
one. I just don't care.
I've never gotten into any of the Marvel or superhero TV shows. And I know some of them are like good. I mean, you guys keep telling me like Alex Jones or whatever it is.
No, Kevin keeps telling you that.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
See, that's how much I'm paying attention. I just have a real hard time. I'm so invested in Marvel movies, like to add the TV shows on and follow the storyline and watch them all. Like it just seems like it's such a thing.
And even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back, right?
They're limited. Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back? I haven't watched that since like, I don't even know, a year and a half or so.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Still going strong. But Marvel TV shows, there's just too much stuff and not enough stuff that I care about. So,
I mean, I get that you pick and choose, but Tim, you got to watch Jessica Jones. You got to watch Luke Cage. I almost said Nick Cage. You got to watch Luke Cage.
I heard Luke Cage
I watch Nick Cage
shit,
all the time, dude. I love Nick Cage.
I mean, I'm fine if you want to give Danny Rand Iron Fist a miss for now because it's nothing, but you gotta watch Jessica Jones and Luke Cage at the very least.
All right. You talked me into it.
In that order.
I'll get on it. I'm down.
Another one for returning. We already talked about Stranger Things. We already know that's coming out October 27th on Netflix. We're hyped. Yes, of course. Another one that's coming back after, what was it? I think 6 years. Curb Your Enthusiasm is coming back on HBO October 1st. So that's something I'm really excited about.
I'm not. I've never watched more than like the first season of that, so I'm not sure. I'm on the fence.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. The whole thing.
I tried. Like I went back because it had such a cult following, and I missed it the first time, and I tried to go back and watch it, and it's Jeff Garland's in it. Yeah. Like, what the heck? Yeah. Like, this is made for me. Seinfeld creator, Jeff Garland. Like, this is up my alley. I don't know. I just couldn't do it for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but it just didn't do it for me.
Yeah. It's just that right amount of cringy for me with, like, kind of, it's like, it's on the fence. And I'm like, okay, this is enjoyable enough to watch. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's coming back. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's super cool. He, even in one of the trailers, he was like, I stopped and then I just wanted to keep going, so here we are. We're doing another one. I'm like, oh, right, cool. That's in his fashion, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jeff Garland, a returning show that I enjoy, which is probably maybe the sitcomiest show that I like, The Goldbergs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still haven't watched that. You keep telling me I got to watch it. I just can't bring myself to yet. It's not on my list. I just really like Jeff
Garland. I don't know why. I really like Jeff Garland, but it is very sitcom-y. I will tell you, like, it's very formula, but they nail the 80s. Like it's just right on. It's maybe not quite as right on as Stranger Things, but from an experiential standpoint, if you grew up in the 80s, like it hits all the buttons. You were relating to one of these youthful characters, and it's cool. It's fun. It's nostalgic. It's enjoyable. It's not great, but I like watching it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only real returning show that I'm looking forward to would have to be Supernatural.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Season 47?
Season 13, excuse me.
Damn.
I mean, that show is definitely off the rails, but I like it.
It's fantastic.
Kev, what about Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, yep.
You and I are Brooklyn Nine-Nine guys.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I guess there are a couple of others. I'm not looking forward to MacGyver. I have never watched Narcos.
No.
Let's
Gotham?
see. Definitely not looking forward to Scorpion.
I'm intrigued by the return of New Girl because we talked about this. I love New Girl. It had some down points over the last couple of seasons, but it kind of found itself again. And then I think they had the opportunity to bravely have one of the best sitcom endings ever. It gave closure to a storyline in just this one moment impactful way. And if they had the guts to end on that, I still stand by that would have been awesome. But
they should have.
But I like these characters, so I'm not opposed to seeing more of them because I'm invested in them and I like them, you know? So if it's an 8-episode run, it has a time jump. If they do it well, I just hope they give me 8 more really good episodes to watch on reruns on Netflix over and over again, because if they mess it up, it's going to be a disaster. But I still want more from these characters, so I'm not ready to totally be done yet.
You can always just pretend that the last season never happened, because it doesn't erase the previous stuff. It's like, I do wish they had made a second season of Heroes and gone beyond that.
I know that could have been really good, right?
Right?
A second season that was
but
that
no, I mean that was
season.
a one and done.
The one
and that was
season
fine.
was so good.
So some other shows that I don't think we ever talked about, or I've ever talked about it with y'all. American Horror Story. Are y'all on that hype train?
Nope.
Nope.
I watched
just
the first 3 seasons, really liked them, and then got bored.
My wife did the same.
Okay.
I watched most of the first season with her, and I just couldn't care. She watched the first 3, and now she doesn't care.
I watched the last season, and that was my only season that I watched. Actually, I made it through season 1 about halfway, and yeah, I got bored. But the last season that they put out was pretty interesting. They kind of changed up the formula, which is pretty cool. But it's coming back September 5th. American Horror Story Cult, if anybody is interested.
Well, they're
I know
all
it has a lot of people.
standalone seasons, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, they reuse a lot of the
Anthology.
same actors. So, you can, if you just want to pick up this season, you can. There's no reason to catch up or anything if you don't feel like it. It's a cool show in that respect.
Yeah, but some of the actors and actresses that made the show are not going to be in this one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
What's another one? Fuller House season 3.
Fuller House.
Yes
don't
or
give
no?
a shit.
No,
no.
thanks.
Okay, cool.
Not at all.
No.
Bob's
September
Burgers?
22nd.
Bob's
Yes.
Burgers coming back October 1st.
This is the lightning round of.
It's going to be
the main
spectacular.
topic.
I love Bob's Burgers.
Bob's
if you're not
Burgers,
watching Bob's
yes.
Burgers, you're failing at life, man.
The Magicians.
Don't care.
Really
Should I?
cool show.
Maybe.
I feel like I should care. You keep telling me that, and I want to get into that, I guess.
It's really cool in the worst way possible. Like, it's super campy and like dripping with like sappy drama, but it's magic and it's like grown up Hogwarts, and the story I always want to know what's going to happen next. It's kind of like all these CW shows. Like, I watch Reign because my wife suckered me into it, and I mean, incredibly historically inaccurate. I'm sure it offends your wife's like very core being, Kevin.
I don't know. She either watches it or it's not on her radar at all. So either way.
So, but like when you have a show on the CW, they know that they're not producing like great content quality wise. So they give it and they make up for it with volume. What The Walking Dead saves for the mid-season finale, they do every commercial break. So, it's one of those kind of things. It's on Sci-Fi, but it's like a CW show where there's just something happening all the time that's so like, what? I can't believe that just happened. So it just keeps you going. It's cool.
So I think how we're going to end this is I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
All right. Jules, you ready?
Sure.
Jules, are you ready?
Sure. Yes.
All right.
I said something.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
So did either of you know that Family Guy was still on TV?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They
How
did a
you
thing
know?
recently.
Jesus. I had no idea they were still making Family Guy.
Yes.
I figured that ended a million years ago.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Christ.
the good episodes ended a million years ago, but
That's it. Anything else you guys needed to bring up with this?
Fixer Upper. Love the show Fixer Upper. Sorry, not usually in a reality TV show, but those two guys are awesome. Joanna and Chip
Fixer-Upper.
Gaines, the real deal,
boy.
legit, down home Texas people, good people, and they do awesome work. Like, as somebody who's in the furniture industry, in the design industry, I love watching what they do. Like, they do really cool stuff, and they're funny and likable. So Fixer Upper.
All right,
Sorry.
I'll watch an episode.
cool. So did we miss any shows that you really wanted us to talk about? Are you excited for a show we didn't talk about, anything like that? Did you want to hear more about American Horror Story or something like that? Let us know. Tweet us at NerdyThingsPod, at NerdyThingsPod. You can find us on Facebook as well, Instagram, all the same name, at NerdyThingsPod. You can go to nerdythingspod.com. From there, you can see articles. You can go to our Patreon where you get more extra content. You can get merch. We have a ton of cool merch items there. NerdyThingsPod.com, NerdyThingsPod on everything, iTunes, leave us a review, all that good stuff. And I want to give a shout out again to our sponsor for the episode, NerdPins. Go to nerdpins.net or find him on Instagram at NerdPins, and the link to the thing should be in the description of the podcast. You can get a free, what did I say? Because it's been a year, free pin with any purchase. Just let him know that you want to get a free pin, let him know which one it is, and tell him the Nerdy Boys sent you, so, you know.
And in regards to getting at us on Twitter, if you care about The Walking Dead, just don't.
Yeah, we didn't mention that.
No,
Fear The Walking Dead either.
Don't get at us on Twitter that we missed The Walking Dead. We didn't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Yep.
Damn it, you said it in the episode. Jesus. We were trying to go the whole episode without it.
Hey, tweet of the week, guys. Tweet of the week?
Tweet of the week.
I got one.
What do you got?
Really?
Yep. I'm not nominating it. I'm just giving it the winner. Let me just pull it up here. It is sent to us by Art History Babes, and it was just a GIF? Question mark?
It's
a
GIF.
God, you're a
GIF
GIF guy? Oh, God.
It was just a GIF. I know, I was just pissing you guys off. It was just a GIF of Britney Spears giving a thumbs up, but yeah, I'm with that. So
yeah, because I think we asked like how your Tuesday was going.
Yeah.
Britney Spears, thumbs up. That's how.
Yep. There's no better
Nice.
answer than that.
Fantastic.
Awesome. I'd like to thank Adipsia for the use of his song Friends Don't Let Friends Go to TGI Fridays. You can hear more of his music at adipsia.bandcamp.com. He just released a new album called The Stoic.
The Stoic.
And I'd also like to thank the Bell Curve for the music we use under the main topic.
That sounds really good, Tim, now that you have a good new mic.
I'm going to practice it. I'm so going to practice it. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Well, see y'all next week.
Later,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone. Bye.